Welcome to the Screen Rot Podcast, the podcast where we discuss the weirdest and worst content that's been rotting our screens and indeed our minds. Shout out to everyone who subscribes to us over on Apple, Spotify or YouTube. You're doing us a big favour, and if you leave reviews, an even bigger one. A big shout out to the patrons, the people who pay for this podcast, the Freemasons on £3.99 a month. They're getting an extra episode like this every single week, plus access to the Rot Bar, the live show we do streamed once a month where you can call us and chat to us about your favourite rot, and they're getting priority access to tickets to our live events, which are probably sold out by now. And the Illuminati as well, the top tier of the patron, $5.99 a month, free hat on their heads on top of everything else.
Fantastic.
Shout out to Eugene. He runs our Twitter.
He's sent by God.
Sent by God. Big wink and a kiss. Mwah. To the ladies who listen to this podcast, who are indeed some of the most gorgeous and sexy ladies in the United Kingdom, I'm here as always with Jake Farrell.
What an intro that was, by the way. Bang on, as always.
Do you know what? Doing that intro, the big wink and a kiss to the ladies.
Even more relevant today, by the way.
Well, I don't want to give too much away.
Sure.
This is only the second.
Even though it's in the title of the episode.
No. It's only the second episode in. This will be like 85 episodes where we've had a guest on.
Fucking hell, 85 episodes.
Because actually, despite everything everyone says, we're not sexist, racist, homophobic, fucking misogynist.
Not on mic, anyway. Yeah.
I think we are on mic sometimes. we actually have completed a perfect gender balance in terms of guests. We've got a female guest on today.
Yes.
The reason we are recording the intro to this podcast without the guest is I do have to say, and I found this at live events in the past, I find it very difficult doing the big wink and the kiss
when there's ladies
when
present.
I might have to make eye contact with ladies.
That's really true, yeah. I've never thought about it that way.
Oh, it's hard.
It's fine when it's just us in the room, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then when there's actually a lady present... I think this
you don't know what to do because it's like a big wink and a kiss to the ladies who listen.
You
but then there's
cannot
ladies who listen and it's like, I can't wink and kiss them.
No.
I think it's illegal.
Yeah, I think
there was chats.
Since Keith Starmer came in, it is.
Fuck him. And can't even call a dog a Muslim anymore without going to jail. I don't know what that means. I think that did happen.
Did it?
Yeah, I think someone did like get in trouble because they kept calling a dog it was during the riots. I don't know.
Doesn't sound great.
But you can't just kiss girls. Like
Wow.
We did a live event at Bush Hall, January just gone, the Rotties, right? And I remember we were talking about it. We were like, what are we doing? And we wanted to do these VIP tickets,
right.
and you know, there's a kind of balcony with some seats, and we were like, do we let the girls all sit up there? That feels like gender
there was 10
segregation.
seats on the balcony, by the way.
Yeah,
so there would have been
optimistic.
There would have been 5 left.
And then it's like, at one point I was like, what if I gave them a wink and a kiss on entering the building? Do you remember I said that?
Yeah,
you didn't like that.
No, I didn't like that. It wasn't clear to me, kind of, the wink and the kiss, how comical or theatrical it was going to be. I think if it was a kind of like a big air kiss, a big like, mwah, like I would have been fine with that.
I'm not snogging people, am I?
That wasn't clear, actually, no.
I'm a fucking happily married man. I'm not going to fucking snog anyone.
No. Maybe a little lips on the cheek?
Yeah, I don't know. It is a bit of a line with my girlfriend of like, she knows I'm joking with all of this, but it's like, Jesus Christ, does that have to be my fiancé behaving like that?
That's true.
I said married. We are fiancéed up. We're not married yet. Get married next summer, boy. Invites coming soon. Keep an eye on your inbox.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on your inbox.
There's going to be a new tier of the Patreon if you want to come to Jacob's wedding.
Evening guest. £100 a month should pay for the wedding. We're on a bit of a roll at the moment, I think. I think the last few episodes have been some of the best we've ever done.
I just like what I'm finding remarkable about doing this is that we are talking to each other an incredible amount, like a genuinely incredible amount off mic and
even on mic. It's a ridiculous.
It's
amount.
a lot of minutes.
So this week we've recorded 2 hour-long episodes. I say hour-long; they're close to an hour and 15. We've done the Rot Bar, which was an hour and a half. Then we did a Patreon special, which is another hour. So that's like 5 hours worth of just on camera.
Yeah.
You would not believe how many more
voice notes.
Jesus Christ.
Do you think at some point that we're like, people are going to have to be like, you've just got, this is mad. This is too much. We'll be dragged away from one another.
Well, we had a meeting with an accountant the other day and we were like planning the future of Screen Rot as a business. And one of the things he said, he was like, you're not going to fall out, are you? He's like, already done it, mate. Don't worry. Happens once an episode. Don't worry too much.
You're not listening then, are you?
Yeah. You could tell he's never listened before.
I mean, even now, this is meant to be a tight intro. I've no idea how long we're on. We're on
about 5 minutes. Yeah, we should get moving in a moment. But I mean, yeah, I think the last few episodes we've done.
But wait, we're coming on strong. We're getting towards 100. 100 episodes, man. What is that going to feel like? Do you reckon?
Well, I'll say, to be honest with people, when we were talking about doing this podcast, I remember talking to other people who do similar podcasts, and I remember everyone saying, make sure you've got a format. and a co-host and a sort of someone you're doing it with that you can definitely get to 100 episodes with. And we always said that, didn't we? We'd get to 100 and see where we are.
See where we were.
What do you reckon? Continue?
That would be hilarious. We get to 100 and go, we've had enough.
Thank you very much. See you later.
Be lucky.
Favourite episode recently?
I mean, I think the rock bar was a particularly wonderful bit of chaos.
Yeah, that's not just to try and hook people into signing up to view the next one. Which
it was something different. It was something special. Obviously, Patreon's coming on and talking to you. You're never exactly sure how it's going to go. It was so funny. It kind of made the whole thing real to me. Like
seeing the people, meeting the people, and seeing them at home as well.
We're currently, I like looking at their clothes in the background. We're currently in a windowless room in our agent's office in Soho.
That's right.
Which is very nice, but it's like there's no sense of someone else enjoying the podcast apart from like you recording it with me. But then actually seeing people and then being like, yeah, we know about this was just a bit weird. It was a bit Truman Show.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they do look exactly how you'd imagine they do.
They do look exactly like
I don't know if we spoke to one person who wasn't wearing glasses.
No. Some people were accusing me of only letting ginger bald people come on the podcast.
Just what there is.
just what they look like. I mean, talking of... so we talked on that about... We had a producer with us helping us with that. It was a bit weird chatting in front of those people. Yeah. We've got a guest coming on today. How do you feel about doing your usual podcasting in front of this person? Are you think you're going to be...
We're very careful about who we have on as guests.
Yes.
I think
we've had
people ask. I think it's all right to say this. We've had a lot of people ask if they can come on.
We've had like
top podcasters.
Some of the most insane requests from PRs to come on this podcast. We got pitched for a Labour MP to come on this podcast.
The Labour Party asked if they could send someone on.
And I looked this guy up and I was like, oh, is there going to be like a wavy Garms graphic designer who's like the MP for Walthamstow?
Middle-aged
just bloke. This little weird nerd bloke.
Yeah. If you're wondering whether Labour are going to win the next general election,
no.
All coins on reform. All coins. Nigel, this is how the Labour Party are trying to win.
They're spending their time, trying to get on screen rot. That's going to sort things out.
Sat here talking to us about Ashton Hall. What's your morning routine, mate? Well, I just get up early and start polling. What about you?
You don't want to know, son. Trust me.
I like the Ashton Hall episode.
Yeah.
Do you know one thing we missed?
Go on.
And I've got a prop. He I don't know if you've ever heard. So he does the wash his face, blah blah, blah, and then he does a thing where he eats the banana, and wipes the banana peel on his face.
Yeah, weird.
Which bit do you find weird?
All of it.
No. I mean, like with the banana bit. What was your like? Wow, why is he doing that?
Because I didn't know that banana skins had any like healing or medicinal properties.
It's antioxidants. I've got one here. It's antioxidant.
Jacob's peeling a banana. That's why you can't hear him because he's not speaking into the microphone.
Yeah. If you could just you might.
This is very brave to eat a banana on camera.
Well, do you know the reason I'm going to eat the banana on camera? To prove something.
Our listeners are the best at Photoshop in Walthamstow. They are going to have a field day with this.
So this is what I was going to get at, right? So have you noticed the way Ashton Hall eats a banana?
Does he break it in half?
Breaks bits off and puts it in his mouth because he's scared that there's a gay way of eating a banana. Yeah. This is a guy who's like, I'm a fucking genius. I get up at 4 a.m. I'm the most productive man on the planet. I'm fearless. I'm strong. I can run like the wind.
I'm not afraid.
But I'm not going to fucking eat a banana in a gay way of it. It's a fucking banana.
Right. This is so you like the first gay kiss on like Emmerdale. That was like a big moment in British culture. You're saying, for positive masculinity, you're going to go down. You're going to eat a banana.
This is going to be better for men in this country than adolescents, than fucking all the male role models, than fucking Gareth Southgate talking about how we need to be better around young men. This is like, lads, there's nothing gay about eating a fucking banana.
No, you ready? Ready? Okay, here we go. Jacob is eating a banana now. He's looking at it. It's a very funnily shaped banana, actually. He couldn't have picked a better one. I know he's okay. Fuck's sake. Oh my God, what are you doing? Stop it, that's so gross. Oh, fuck off! Jesus Christ. Oh my God, he's deep throating the banana. That is fucking horrendous. Jacob, stop it, man. Jacob, stop it. I can't believe on this episode of all episodes, with the guest we've got coming on today, you fucking knobhead. That was absolutely horrendous. I can never unsee that.
Nothing gay about it.
Jacob, stop it! That's enough. I'm calling it. We've got to wrap it up. That's 10 minutes. You fucking idiot. Well, that's going to get the Spotify numbers up at least on the video. Stop doing it!
Say my name.
No one can hear you.
Unbelievably, the camera ran out of battery at the perfect moment. I think the banana was going to finish. Ladies and gentlemen,
I can't believe that that's the lead into this guest.
How to tee up a genuinely serious political broadcaster and the first female guest.
How long have you been planning that? You've been planning that all week. You were so ready for that. Did you practice doing that at home? I don't even know if the camera's in the right position now.
The first female
Fuck's
guest
sake.
we've ever had on this podcast.
Fuck off.
Ladies and gentlemen, with a rot revisit of emotions. The star of Politics Joe. It's Ava Santina. Right, welcome to the Scream Up podcast with the second guest we've ever had on the show, a lady, because despite the accusations, we're not weird around women. Please welcome to the show, Ava Santina!
Hey.
Round of applause. Second round of applause.
And
Second round.
second time recording because the first time you didn't turn my microphone on, which was, not beating the allegations.
First woman we've had on the... To be fair, we've only ever had one other guest.
Were they a misandrist as well?
John, I don't know if John Cairns is a misandrist or... No, I think he's not. No. So
The last conversation we had with him in person, he did ask us where he could find the Bonnie Blue video. We were talking about the Bonnie Blue. He's like, oh, what, is that online, is it? Where
John suspects she's a crisis actor.
Why?
He doesn't believe that the porn is actually happening. He believes that they're just saying the porn is happening.
Okay, do you know why I'd buy into that? Because she has really good skin and really good hair.
Sure.
To me, she sort of, it feels like she might have a stunt double or
Yeah.
something.
A vagina double, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Right.
Have you ever seen any of her porn?
No.
Okay. Well, I have.
And that by the way, if you're okay.
Which one have you seen?
I've seen quite a few of them because basically a lot of
For
my
research
friends
purposes.
are. Well, no, not even that. But just really enjoy it.
It's good stuff.
A lot of my
Pleasure
friends
rather than
are,
business.
They're all teachers and they confiscate a lot of phones because
Right.
like Bonnie Blue kind of blew up and it was the porn that was being passed around the classroom.
Wow.
They're sixth form teachers. So when the phones were being confiscated or whatever, one of these friends airdropped quite a lot of the stuff to herself, which is
Right.
mental. That's probably a sackable offence. Anyway, so
I'd
then
say
we
so.
then we watched all of it, and it's very odd because I don't really watch that much porn, so I don't really know if this is typical of the genre or something.
Right.
But like the sort of she has a very exaggerated way of having sex.
Right.
It's like it's almost like if you did sort of like a sixth form art class or GCSE art class and you
Yeah.
were trying to do like interpretive porn. That's how it feels. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. She's not a Daniel Day-Lewis. She's more of a broader actor, so to speak.
Yeah, and there was like I guess that because they run for quite a long time, they're sort of like 12, 14 minutes, and I was like, well, that's why he's lasting so long because like all of the moves in it are terrible. Like they're really dreadful.
Right.
It sort of looks like if you saw someone who'd never had sex before.
Okay, so
Jake, you know Jacob's
I've
theory,
got theories on Bonnie Blue. Have you
which
read
would
the...
chime with some of this new information, actually.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Have you read the Quran?
Back to back, not yet, but it's on my list.
Are you aware of a concept of a jinn?
No.
A jinn is a spatial being from the spiritual realm that can occupy a human's body.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's possessed. I think she's possessed by a jinn.
He saw a tweet
Okay.
about it,
I saw a tweet. Yeah.
so it's probably true.
What about her makes her seem possessed?
So do you not look at her? There's something about...
She doesn't know how to have sex.
I cannot believe
Yeah.
this.
A demon wouldn't know how to have sex.
We finally got a female guest on the podcast, and we're just talking about pornography. So we compare her and Lily Phillips.
We.
Quite a lot,
He says
right?
that. He says we. He says we a lot about things that he says.
Yeah, and then you
We're
you
worried
go-
about the death of the high street. We've illegally called up barbers and told them we're lawyers from Sky Atlantic.
Oh, I guess they are kind of like a Turkish barbers, right? Because it seems like a front.
There we go. That's a fucking
You
great
know?
thing. This is Ava's a
Thanks.
professional podcast. But if you go back 3 episodes, we literally both did an episode called The OnlyFans Babes, where we were discussing Bonnie Blue and Lily Phillips.
Yes.
And my thing is, I think with Lily Phillips, there's a vulnerability, there's a humanity.
That's why the men like her.
Well, I know. And
That's the sell. That's all the branding.
Do you think that's performed? Do you think there's a performed vulnerability with Lily Phillips? Do you not think she's just like, because there's obviously that, I can't remember the geezer's name, he made the documentary where she's like crying,
Yeah.
right?
But then she came out and said that she wasn't actually crying.
Yeah, I mean,
I
said that when I was
That's kind of like when
12.
people.
I was like, I wasn't actually crying.
I wasn't actually scared of Darth Maul. I'm fine, actually.
She probably
My girlfriend goes to another school.
Well, yeah, she did. Maybe she just had like really watery eyes. Because it's a lot, isn't it?
It's a lot. She only did 100. Bonnie Blue 1,000.
Only, yeah.
And like fucking bulletproof. Like honestly, like yeah, I did 1,200. Why not? So I don't want to live a normal life. Why?
But hence the theories around, like you say,
it's like nothing happened.
Hair too good, skin too good, doesn't know how to have sex. Possibly a spatial demon from another realm. Possibly a crisis actor employed by the Chinese government. It's not clear on any of these fronts, I guess.
Like a reform voter, that's the sort of energy she gives me. But like,
I think she could. It wouldn't surprise me if she was like part of Reform's campaign.
But I don't.
God,
oh God, you have a go on her, and then if you vote Reform, you can have a go. That's
We need to introduce
Tom
rules
Skinner
like
stood with her outside of an Airbnb. Come on down, ladies and gentlemen, vote for the Reform Party today. You can spend 2 minutes.
If there is not electoral board rules against that now, we need to put those rules in place now because they will do that. There is a good high chance they might do that.
I don't like the critics of Bonnie Blue. The sort of the
Thanks for coming on the podcast. We'll see you next week, everyone.
No. Okay, what I don't like is it's a sort of traditional media setup, right? Is that you'll be brought on like two opposing viewpoints, then you'll have this sort of very short, stunted debate on live television, right? And they love it. It's very ITV, very Talk TV.
You versus Porky Parry.
Yeah.
On woke culture.
Yeah. The king.
Yeah.
I love him.
We'll get into that.
I know that you guys.
I think our position's pretty clear.
We're like, you'd have thought we'd have been excited by the idea of pornographic actors. She mentions Porky Parry. We're both like,
yeah. With both of us sober from pornography, but not from Porky Parry. Yeah. So
the light in your eyes, like both of you, it's extraordinary. Okay, so Bonnie Blue was brought onto a couple of shows after she announced that she was going to do this 1,000-person challenge or whatever, and then like another woman who was sort of, I guess, the kind of like mother figure in this. Bonnie Blue is the Madonna figure, and then they bring on this very motherly, nurturing figure to sort of chastise her and tell her why she's wrong and she's devaluing sex. I just don't buy it. I think it's really unhelpful.
Right.
I think that you could make an argument that a lot of women have sex for money because they might get into marriages or relationships in which they are profiting out of their partner. Yes. I just think it's very unhelpful to the narrative that sex work is not work.
Well, the gender critical writer Louise Perry, her theory about OnlyFans is that it's easier to find a rich man than it is to create a rich OnlyFans account.
Really?
Yeah, which I thought was a very strange approach. She was just like, if you want money, we'll just find a rich man, as though they are the same thing. Whereas like they're not. You're kind of your own boss as an OnlyFans thing, right? You're not asking for money off of someone else. So I don't know how she made the equation between those two things, but that's her theory. So.
I'm not sure if I agree with that because you are kind of the product of like the tech company that owns OnlyFans, right?
Okay, so we do want a rich husband instead.
I'd like neither.
Both.
I quite enjoy,
They're the only two options, I'm afraid.
I like having my own money.
I'm really sorry.
And being a liberated woman in the 21st
I hate
century
saying it.
who makes their own
Brave
decisions.
enough to say it.
Yeah. Let's get back onto Porky Parry. These ideas are a bit too... No.
We have gone a bit heavy, haven't we? Sorry.
No. I think it's an interesting thing though, because like, so I think there's been like a Bonnie Blue is like sex positive view of Bonnie Blue. Then it's actually become a bit more like actually it's fine to critique her as like kind of damaging sexual politics for younger people. And now it's almost come back around again. It's like she's had too much criticism. Is that what you're saying or no?
Yeah, I think in principle, like I think that the sort of the conversation always goes to just denigrating sex workers because it's an easy and cheap thing to do. Bonnie Blue is like a very special case because she had that barely legal segment, which I thought was disgusting.
What was that?
Which was like she would go to campuses and sleep with 18-year-old men, and like that to me was just like.
But it's not real.
I mean, what do you mean?
I don't like.
What, did you go? Or
Trust us, it's not real.
No,
It's a scam.
like, it's a stunt though, isn't it? It's a stunt. It's a stunt. To,
Ask
like,
Porky Parry about it. It's not real.
yeah.
There are limits.
No, but I think it's a stunt. It's a publicity stunt. It's the same way that like the 1,000 Men thing. It's all a publicity stunt, and the whole point of it is that people sit here and go, "Oh, what's Bonnie done now?" 18-year-olds, and like her thing is like, "Yeah, well they're legal, aren't they? If you don't like it, change the rules, and I'll just fuck someone who's 21 instead." But it's like, well, you know, it's weird.
Your impression of her is absolutely insane.
So good. Actually,
I've never watched it. I don't watch porn, but her and Lily, they've both got that kind of like somewhat sort of Midlands but middle class accent. You know what I mean? It's like little bit of a northernness to it, but still kind of suburban. If that makes sense. But I don't know. I think she's fine. I think she's doing whatever the fuck.
No, you don't.
she
You
wants.
think she's a demon?
I do think she's a demon.
No, she's inhabited by a demon. Those are two separate things.
But I don't know. I think like to be critical of them, you have to be critical of the whole fucking thing. You have to be critical of like how sex work works. You have to be critical of the men. The men are way worse than them. Like the my favourite clip I've seen is there was during the 1,000 Men thing.
Right.
There was a lady come in and a sort of middle-aged woman, and she was like, "Where's my son? Where's my son?"
No.
Have you not seen that?
No.
And she's like she's like, Jamal, where's my son? And like one of the sort of like staff have to go in and get her son, and this fucking kid comes out like.
Oh, so he's near the front of the queue.
Well,
You'd be
no,
fuming.
he was in. He was in.
No.
He was in the
He
room.
was in.
That can't be real.
And he comes out. No, mate, it's fucking real. And he comes out and and she bless her. She's so like, just make sure you don't leave your coat behind. Get your coat. Because he's obviously spent a bit of money on his coat. She's like, get your coat. He picks up this like North Face and like leads him out.
Yeah.
That.
Do you know when they go down the queue and there's like men with like who are just in their socks? They've like taken their shoes off ready, but like the rest of them is still clothed. It's like what?
You've got to make your most of your time. Presumably there's a time limit. You don't even take off your shoes when you're in
I
there.
think she did 1,000. I do believe she did 1,000 because what she was doing was like big group things. Do you know what I mean? There's like 40 in there at a time just on rotation. This is the bleakest fucking conversation we've had.
It was Lord Davenport. It was his house. Do you know him?
No.
He's like he's sort of quite prolific in the Mayfair club scene, and
Nice.
he posts all these like mental Instagram videos of him with like loads of like Asian women in clubs.
Oh yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like so people have suggested him on the group. Yeah, he's crackers, isn't he?
Yeah.
He looks like he looks like someone that like hasn't eaten for kind of chemical reasons for quite a number of years.
He's got like a bit of a Hugh Hefner thing about him, as if they like sort of pulled him back out the ground, or you know.
Yeah. He's actually like the kind of evil twin of Walton Goggins' character from the recent series of White Lotus. He's got that like.
I don't know the reference.
Oh,
You don't watch White Lotus?
No, I don't.
I don't watch
No,
TV.
sorry.
Receding
I just
hairlines
watch
are back.
Bonnie Blue. That's all I
you
do. I just say.
You watch Bonnie Blue videos that have been confiscated from actual teenagers.
Well, try this for a segue. You also watch Emotions in Life. Now, we've covered Emotions in Life. Tim, what's his surname? Do you remember his surname?
I've said Coles, but I'm worried
I think
that
it's
I've
Tim
been.
Coles.
But isn't that the Reverend Tim Coles, who's like that kind of?
I think it's both.
But if you get the name wrong, that means that you haven't libelled.
Is that true?
No.
Okay. So we were talking about Bonnie Purple just now, and all right, so that would have been a helpful rule for it to be true, because Jacob uses people's names all the time that he shouldn't use. It's very tough. I have to say, allegedly, I don't think that works either. Does it? That's not a thing either.
Well, I mean, it can be in some contexts. Maybe
No
if
one's
you've
called the police yet. We'll be fine.
if you've heard it directly and you're saying a source tells me that allegedly
This
then
is good
that's
journo
fine.
knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay, a source. If Jacob's the source and I don't reveal, I'd never reveal my sources, obviously. Then it's fine.
Yeah, and you know what you've got to remember as well, like lobby journalists, which I am by trade, make a lot of things up. Like most of it is a lie.
This is
Like,
great. This
Have
is
you
good
lied?
stuff.
Have you're on screen right now. You're safe.
No, can
Have
I?
you ever
actually-
lied to make a point? Have you
No,
ever
I
lied?
actually haven't. Do you know that? Because I get really frightened that I'm going to be found out.
Right.
So I don't. But I do know that I've read pieces before where there's been like a conversation that we've had, like in Strangers Bar, which is the bar in Parliament, which is like journalists speculating.
It's called Strangers.
Yeah, it's called Strangers.
That's amazing. That sounds like it could be a club in Slough. That's incredible.
It kind of is. It is sort of a club, like but the clientele aren't. It sort of looks like the afters at a Bonnie Blue event. That's like,
the real hardcore Bonnie Blue fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
but yeah, no, we will have had a discussion between like 4 journalists, and then the next day I'll read it in a paper that like a source says this, and I'm like, that is something that was just posited over like a few drinks.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
That's so
brilliant.
good.
Emotions in Life. We've done an episode on him already. You're a fan. He's blocked us.
Is fanfare? Are you all right with?
Oh no, I'm a massive fan. Do you want me
Okay.
to tell you the context of why
Please.
I really needed to talk to him today about him? Is that so? My boyfriend and I will get it. We found him one night doing a live. And
wow.
Was that the first time you'd seen him?
Yeah, doing a live.
You
yeah.
stumbled into a live.
But my boyfriend was really familiar with his content, which I found really concerning because, again, I don't think he watches that much porn, but he knew a lot of the back catalogue of this guy. So I was like,
what would you rather? You'd rather him be a porn addict than a Tim Coles addict.
But you could rational that, couldn't you? Do you know what I mean? Like, what am I meant to do with this?
If your boyfriend ever starts saying like really earnest, kind of like, "Hey, babe,
Yeah.
I know you've had such a shit day today."
Yeah.
No, but he's American, so he is really earnest like that all the time.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's just incredibly earnest.
He's okay. He's been Tim Coles billed.
So we've spoken about Americans on this podcast before and how they do sort of do that. And we've always felt that there's a line of like, are they autistic or are they American?
I think that all the time. I thought that this morning.
Is he autistic or is he American?
Yeah, he was like fumbling over this like coffee machine for like half an hour because like the humidity of the beans wasn't right or something like that. And I was just like, I don't need an autistic coffee this morning. Like whatever comes out is absolutely fine.
You should be doing this podcast with him.
he's like, no, I want it to be right. I need it to be right.
To be fair, that's a male thing as much as an autistic thing.
Yeah.
I do that.
I do a lot of things that I claim are for my wife that are more for me, I think.
Yeah.
No, it's really important
It's
that
an
I get
act
this
of
lamb
service,
shoulder right.
but you want to get it right. I had a bit of a breakdown the other day because we didn't have any balsamic vinegar for me to use in a ragu.
Class.
And
Class by you.
My missus was like, honestly, I can't really taste it anyway. I was like, we need vinegar. I put it on the Waitrose list, and I'm going to have to go to Tesco Metro now and buy
It's
the
not
vinegar.
going to be as good as the
It's
Waitrose
going to
one.
be an hour later.
It's
Yeah.
really expensive as well from the
fuck
Tesco
me.
Metro.
Yeah,
that.
security
What were you
tag on it.
making?
Huh? A ragu?
Oh, okay. You could have done like a bit of Marmite in there. That would have had the same
Wow.
effect.
Deep umami
Yeah.
flavours, as Todd would say. So your boyfriend was you stumbled into this live together, but he already knew about Tim Coles, or he gained more knowledge after that.
Yeah, so he already knew. He'd just seen like the sort of surface level videos, and then we got onto the lives. And so basically every evening from 6 o'clock, he sits on there for about 6 hours.
He does that every day.
Yeah.
Tim Coles.
And he'll be on there for like, but he's only broadcasting to maybe like at peak he gets about 45,
Nothing wrong with that.
and then and then at pit he's probably getting about 6 or 7.
Jesus
When
Christ.
it drops down to those sort of numbers, you feel like you need to leave the live because you're very exposed.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
He can.
Yeah.
Can he not just see your name on like your
He
profile's
can.
viewing you?
And
Fucking
so
hell.
we'll buy like, I don't know, we kind of got into this bad routine of like buying a few coins. They're not that expensive. They're like 69p or something like that. Yeah. And
Did he set that price?
He set that price for sure.
Hey babe, 69p for a coin, and you can talk to me.
and then like you'll throw like he basically acts like an NPC character. So you'll throw him a few coins, which turns into a rose. If you send a rose, he'll say thank you and your name.
Wow.
So if you send like 15, he'll say 15 times in a row, thank you, Ava. Thank you, Ava. Thank you, Ava.
Oh my God.
Okay, what's the price of that? That's like £4, £5. That's
What, of
worth
that?
it. Yeah.
No, this is all within the 69p. He's not expensive.
We should be fucking doing this.
We should be doing this.
Next rock bar. Next we
could
do
get
like a live stream show. We should do this.
We should
film
get
ourselves.
ChatGPT to generate a script for the podcast and pay him to read it out for us. He could do the podcast for us.
We could get him
just
to do
record
ad
it.
reads for us. We could get him to talk about Manscaped.
Hey, babe. Manscaped are talking to you today. So how many times have you given him coins? I don't like this. What's it, the chucking him coins? Is that just the colloquial term for it, or is there actually a gesture that you use on the...
Well, no, you buy coins that turn into like these sort of graphics. So you send a graphic.
This is all on TikTok.
Yeah. So while he's on the
Sorry.
live, you can send him you might send him a cake, or you can send him these glasses that come out of nowhere and then they kind of land like on top of his face.
Okay, I didn't know it was this cool.
That's always good fun.
Restraining orders, you could send him one of those, or you could send him a legal writ.
Chains go around his hands and he's led away from the screen.
The sad thing is about him is that there are people on the live who are sort of there as if he's a pastor or something, and they're looking for some kind of like evangelical truth out of
Yeah.
him. And like, I don't know if they're playing the same game I am because I'm sending paragraphs like that. So I don't know if
Yeah,
we're all
yeah.
the same, or if there's like genuinely like someone called Janine out there who is actually like finding a lot of faith in him.
Wow.
We wondered this when we spoke about him before, because it's like I've only ever seen people like sharing his stuff, being like, look at the state of this guy. Do you know what I mean? There's a man, because you've seen like not the lives, the actual TikToks and the reels he does, where he's in the car and he's written this kind of like A-level poem, being like, you're just struggling with so much at the moment, and I just want to stand by you as your boyfriend, right? And he sort of does that. And it's like I've only ever seen people like share that, be like, wow, this is mad. But then he's making a living out of it. That's fine. He's making a living out of it, so there must be. It can't all be hate watching. Do you know what I mean? You're obviously watching to take the piss. There must be people on there.
Well, are you watching to take the piss or?
No, I actually really enjoy his content.
Which bit?
All of it. I think
the poems.
Well, the poems are lovely.
Do
Actually,
they speak to you? Do they speak to you as a woman with mental health? Is that a thing of like, yeah, I am struggling today. Thanks, Tim, for noticing. Thanks for noticing that this world is so fucking hard on me.
I don't know if they're like targeted at me, because fortunately I've never been hit, and I think that that's who he's going after. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. He sort of basically he goes after women who have been abused. And he's sort of like, that's probably a bit too heavy, isn't it? Sorry.
That's the subtext.
It's got really out of
Bonnie
pocket.
Blue's a pedo. This guy's going after women that have been abused.
I know what you
Bonnie
mean, though.
Blue's shit at sex.
I know.
Bonnie Blue's shit at sex. We found out from the teenagers at school.
Do you know what? Just sorry to go back to Bonnie Blue straight away.
What's going on
Do you think
there?
that'll make it look really weird? It still looks
Why
the same
have all
on
the lights
screen.
gone off?
It feels weird being in the dark. Do you want me to wave to make it wake up? Come on.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
I don't think it's ever done that before. Oh, there we go.
Right. Just the Bonnie. Now I can't. The only bit of Bonnie Blue porn I've seen is the one she did with Bevo. On
Who's Bevo?
Fucking
Come
hell.
on.
Shall I have a look?
Oh, we
Shall I
should.
look
You'll
at
know who he is.
Bevo.
Guessed. You don't know Bevo?
The screen rock fans, all 45 of them, that when they're not on Tim Cole's live, they're going to be fuming about
You know
this.
Bevo.
Is he?
You know Bevo.
Is he a porn or is he?
He is now. He was TikTok previously. He did food videos.
Oh, this guy.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Is that why his name's that? Because he's got teeth like a beaver.
We
Is that
thought
what it is?
His name is genuinely Brandon Beaver.
That is not his girl. You're joking.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
We've gone deep on the lore of this. It's a lot.
It's really dark. There's a documentary on them. She does OnlyFans now because a few years ago she genuinely had like a private sex tape leaked, and she was like, the only way to own this situation if I just start making adult content. And now they make it together. That's
the third bleakest thing that's been said in the last 20 minutes.
Yeah. She's like the Kim Kardashian of the UK.
Yeah, she is, yeah. Queen of our hearts.
So his channel is called Bevo's POV.
Oh, he's eating off of her bum here.
That's someone else's bum, actually. And if you look at the most liked comment, it's us saying she goes to the toilet. What I was going to say, anyway, a lot of people say that Bonnie Blue's got a weird vagina. I've heard people say that in the past.
I was tiptoeing around it at the beginning of this podcast.
I haven't seen her vagina. I've only seen the Bevo POV, which is where she gives him a blowjob. I'm so sorry about this episode. I've not seen Bonnie's vagina. I've only seen her doing
This doesn't feel that out of pocket. I listened to this
it's
quite
not,
a lot.
it's not at all.
The last episode I listened to like a couple of days ago, you were talking about how you only get out of bed because you finished all over your sleeves.
To specify, he was saying that.
Yeah, it's specifically me that says those things.
You didn't object.
I don't object to him doing it. I guess I object to him talking.
But
about
you
it.
weren't surprised.
I'm not surprised.
It
no,
was like,
I'm not surprised.
He
He
won't have this debate with me, and I don't want to sound weird, but you can't help, right? I cannot believe that, like, because we were talking about this on our live stream the other day, and I was like, I don't really get what's wrong with that, and it's like, oh, it's the making a mess on yourself thing, and everyone else was like, well, you just shoot into a tissue. Surely that's not what everyone's doing. Surely, like, what, you're sat there just aiming at a fucking tissue? That is the fucking bleakest way to master. Like, you're in the heat at the moment.
Bleak, yeah.
You're in the throes of passion. You're not thinking about tissues. You think about that afterwards. I cannot fucking...
It's still not clear to me what you want me to say about this.
I saw a thing the other day
no?
where there were people who were like, do you not stand up to wipe your bum after you go to the toilet? And everyone was like, what the fuck? And then it turns out like 40% of people actually do that.
Right.
And this is my version of that. I cannot... Anyway...
I heard about a girl who broke her laptop because she was having quite vicious, like, I guess it's like phone sex, online sex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Zoom sex
with someone who lived abroad for a while.
Wow.
and just to sort of like it couldn't take it anymore.
I've got a lot of respect for that because it's like, yeah, she's in the throes of passion, she's enjoying herself, she's not thinking about fucking waste removal or what's going to happen at the end. And if the laptop breaks, the laptop breaks. That is how you. I don't know.
Let's get back to Bonnie Blue's messed up
sorry.
vagina. What's wrong with it?
Look, I don't think it's very body positive of me to talk about her vagina.
It's fucking worse if we do it.
No, I think it's worse if I do it because I'm already hated by men because apparently I'm a misandrist. I can't also lose
Do you want
women.
to address those allegations?
You want men to kill themselves?
You've come on this podcast specifically to double down on that statement.
Our good friend Jeff Norcott, who's a working class comedian who wants to help men's mental health. Do you want to explain the situation?
No, I mean, do you?
I don't want to make light of it because then that horrible cunt Lawrence Fox said something horrible to you that was genuinely like mental.
It's not what I said. I said that the suicide rate is very high with women. They're just less successful. That there's a problem across the board with across the genders with suicide. Do you know what? Why do I keep doubling down and keep trying to explain it? Because like, if it didn't come across well the first time,
I was thinking earlier, like, I'm not going to bring that up.
doing
That
it.
must have been a painful, emotional thing. You don't have to
I think from the clip I watched, your point was like, why can't we just have a mental health minister that looks after everyone?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, men are killing themselves. It's like, yeah, but the mental health minister who looks after everyone will look after the men as well.
Yeah, that was sort of the point. Thank you for
then that's
saving
got spun
that,
into a thing
that.
of like, Jesus, she hates men. It's like.
And then I'm not shaggable. That was the big line, which to me is extraordinary because, like, okay, I used to have this housemate called. I used to have this housemate.
I can believe that.
I used to have this housemate, and she was kind of like. Do you know this sort of, you probably went to school with these sort of girls. They're just kind of a bit more like, bit more rough and ready. They're
Tarts.
a bit more. They're
Yeah.
Anyway,
I've spoken about it before. Love them.
okay, yeah, right. So anyway, she used to always point at like crevices when we were out and about and be like, you're like, you know, men would put their dick in that. Her point being that basically like men would fuck anything.
Yeah, I had a mate at school who fucked a fence. Carry on.
Exactly. So the point being that like I would be like completely unshaggable when there are many men out there who are putting like their dicks in like watermelons or like, you know, or in fences.
Yeah.
It's just, is this going to be the end of my career, this podcast?
It's the end of ours, so it's join the club. I can't remember how we got onto that.
We're talking about
body positivity, Bonnie Blue. We're not going to talk about her vagina. I hope that she's well. My best wishes to Bonnie Blue.
It does make you go, oh.
What her vagina does?
Yeah.
It's the jinn. I'm telling you, it's the Islamic spirit that's taken, and it's not anything wrong with your spirit being Islamic, by the way. If it was a fucking, I don't know, Hindu spirit or whatever, the point is a bad spirit that's gone into her body and done stuff with her vagina. My theory.
Okay, it's affecting her. It's affecting her cavities.
It could be that. It could be the 1,000 men she keeps shagging that's affected her vagina. Who knows, Bonnie? Let's talk about Tim Coles again. Tim Coles. We've got some clips from lives that you've watched of him. He had his hair done. He had a hair transplant.
I was wondering that. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Did you not see when he had the thing when he had all the bumps around his forehead?
Yeah, I did, but I didn't know if that was just sort of acne or something.
Do you know what? I don't know if you've encountered this with girls in the past. It blows my mind how like we're very sensitive about hairlines and our hairlines and going bald. Yes. And we know exactly what.
You just looked at my hairline.
I looked at the both of yours actually. I was like,
right. Yeah. Now, I've said to girls, loads of girls, my partner, exes in the past, I'm like, I need a hair transplant, I'm fucked. And
do you?
That's the reaction, right? He got a hair transplant.
Mm.
It looks amazing.
And he has got a nice head of hair, but I mean, I don't really think hair is that important.
Please tell me more.
You lot value your hair more than women do.
That's what my missus says all the time. Yeah.
I think you're a lot more concerned with it.
Yeah.
We're sort of like, could you not cheat on me? And you're like, oh my God, it's my hairline.
Stop fucking that fence.
Yeah. Like one of the worst things that men do to women in the UK is, I don't know, kill them quite a lot. You're more likely to be killed by your sexual partner than anyone else in your life. And we're like, yeah, but how does our fringes look?
Stop fucking that fence. Stop killing women. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
That was the
I'm
idea.
going to get a hair transplant in Turkey.
Are
in
you?
July. Yeah.
I can't. You do not need a hair transplant.
I'm of the same opinion. I should be the one going out.
You really
I should be the one
You're going to
getting
be. You'll have no forehead.
I'm going to get it for free.
Yeah, he's going to get it down to his eyebrows.
Yeah, you're going to have like a 2-head or something like
I'm
that.
getting it done for free. It was offered for free, so I'm taking it.
Why would you take that? Are you out of your mind?
Yeah, it's like parachutes. It's one of the things you want to pay more for, really. I think a hair transplant.
It's worth $5,000. It's a good hair transplant.
They'll probably take your kidney or something.
Someone fucking. I showed you this. I told my group chat, and they were like, "Be careful, they'll get your kidney."
Yeah.
My mate knows a girl from Stevenage who went out there for a boob job. Came back, saw side, looked down, had a scar. They're taking her kidney.
Yeah, I mean that's complete bollocks, obviously, but it's an interesting thing to say, nonetheless. It obviously didn't happen.
Apparently, it was in the small print of the contract that they were allowed to do that.
No, it's not. Obviously
Nothing's for free.
Yeah,
nothing's ever for free.
Well, okay, so I'm getting it because I do a football show with a YouTuber called The True Geordie. He
they can't start looking at your hairline anymore.
Well, no.
My eyes are down here.
Come on, Brian. No, he's doing like adverts for a hair loss clinic in Turkey. They offered him a hair transplant. He doesn't want it. He likes being bald. So he was like, does anyone else want it? And I was like, I'll fucking have it. So I'm going to go to Turkey with him and his wife. I think you're going to come. We're going to do a Patreon special about it, and I'm going to get a new hairline.
But where are they going to put the extra hair?
In my little corners. So I've got.
I think you're gonna. There's really not a lot of space to.
I've got freckles, like around my hairline, that I had hairs in front of pre-lockdown.
Jesus.
And I'm now like half an inch back.
Have you thought about going to therapy?
I have been saying this.
That's the I think the underlying.
Where are they going to take the hair from?
Back of my head. Here.
Oh, that's so. I actually feel really bad about that because we were talking about hair transplants the other day, and this really lovely girl who works on accounts was saying it comes from the back of the head, and I was like, no, it doesn't. It comes from your arsehole. I know it does.
Oh, sorry.
I've seen it. They take your kidneys. They have a look around your arsehole. It's rough stuff.
I'm worried they're going to take it from True Geordie's arsehole, and I'm going to end up with these big fucking thick Geordie pubes on my forehead.
Lots of people have been sending around the clip of Jude Law recently where he was promoting a film and he was talking about his receding hairline. He was like, oh, I kind of love my hair island. I like it. It kind of looks fine for whatever.
His kids
I'm happy
play
with
it.
Yeah. And a lot of people I saw were like, oh, that's cool. It's just like, he's fine with it. You be fine with it. And it's like, that's fucking Jude Law.
Yeah,
of course he's fine with it. He's all right. Don't worry about him.
Yeah.
He's not worried about you.
So this is Tim. This is post hair transplant. Should we stick headphones in and watch a little bit of Tim?
Yeah, I think where are your headphones?
I've had them on the whole time.
Sorry. Oh my God, sorry.
Professional
podcast. Jacob doesn't wear them because he's a child. Right, this is Tim Coles doing a live. You can. All right. Singing a bit of Bieber. How often does he sing on the lives?
So do you know you actually have that screen record because my boyfriend was away, so he wasn't there to watch it with me.
You like to keep him up to date.
Yeah, I recorded it.
You can't watch an episode of The Sopranos when someone's away because they won't know what's going on when they get back. Exactly. So you want him to keep him up to date.
He gets home and he's like, hang on, when did he get into Justin Bieber? Don't worry.
It's fantastic stuff. That's so good. So you were saying this is what Tim's been up to. It's almost like when someone's away for work or whatever and they get a picture of their child.
Yeah.
Lou is missing you. Tim's missing you.
That's actually a really millennial relationship, isn't it? Or like, late millennial relationship. Is that like, I haven't got any real responsibilities because you do. Do you have responsibilities? Or
no, I don't have any kids. No.
But yeah. I'm glad you knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So,
I do have some responsibilities, but yeah, not.
So like my thing is like
It tells us a lot about your psyche that you just think of children as responsibility. Things to love, things to adore, responsibility.
Yeah. I'm not there yet. It's lovely that you're enjoying yourself. I'm just not there yet.
I didn't say I was enjoying myself.
Okay.
No, but I mean, would you ever have kids?
Whoa,
Jesus.
Easy, man. Jesus Christ.
Sorry, sorry, we were talking about
How much do you earn, Ava, by the way?
We were talking about Bonnie Blue's labia 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, and that's within the boundaries of this stupid social media podcast.
Well, it's funny, actually. Since you've asked the question, I'm going to answer the question.
Wow.
I actually was at the doctor last week, and birth control, you get it 5 years or 10 years.
Right.
And so she was like, should we go for 5 years this time? And I was like, whoa, what do you mean?
Yeah,
Why have I been downgraded?
Yeah, what are you trying to say?
This is too personal, but I don't know what you're talking about. 5 years of what?
Like birth control.
She gives you 5 years of pills?
No, there's other methods.
I'm not going to ask, it's way too personal. I honestly have no idea.
Carrying out a refuse sack full
That's
of
what
pills.
I was thinking. I was like, what the fuck?
A Patagonia rucksack full of
I'm
pills.
all condoms.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, 5 years of what? I'm not going to ask. It's far too personal. I honestly have no idea what's happening for 5 years.
That'll be 1,500 condoms, please. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure the comments will tell me.
You're not aware
Don't tell me, it's too personal.
Your partner's a midwife.
Huh?
Your partner's a midwife.
Your partner's a midwife and you don't know about the coil.
Oh, that one. That's the one I beat, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's an he uses that verb every single time.
My missus was on the coil and still got pregnant with our first kid.
Can you not tell me things like that?
Get 10 years, get double strength.
Yeah, like Robinson's fruit squash.
I also really hope that he doesn't listen to this because he listens to this podcast.
Your boyfriend does?
Yeah, he does.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, he was actually, and we kind of have like a sort of like quiet rule that he doesn't listen to stuff that I'm on.
Yes.
And so when I said I was doing this podcast, he was like, "Oh, really?"
Yes, miss a week. He'll listen.
Yeah,
he'll listen. So what you did? You went for the shorter option, 5 years. You don't want to rule it out. You should be talking about this as well. You should talk about your views on children and where you are in life. This is supposed to be an open and honest, vulnerable conversation.
No, it's not.
Between people in their 30s who are living in London and just trying to prosper in Keir's Britain.
But also, it's just sort of like the sort of people who I imagine listen to this podcast like didn't come here for like an episode about birth control and like Bonnie Blue's vagina.
We don't know what they're coming in for.
Not the birth control thing. I think the other thing is probably in play for those people, to be fair.
If you knew what had happened in the intro to this episode, you wouldn't be worried about whether we're
do you want to know about that now?
Go on. Yeah, go on.
You can explain it, I don't know.
Jacob deep-throated a banana.
Did you? How far did you get down?
No, I tell you what,
Very
fucking
far,
hell.
actually.
It's the first time I've deep-throated anything. And
I knew you had that dog in you. I didn't know you were a throat goat
No,
as well.
I didn't do well at all. Throat goat is one of the weirdest things you've ever said.
Spending too much time on football.
No, we were talking about Ashton Hall. You know the guy who went viral the other day who's got the morning routine?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so one of the things he doesn't eat a banana in a gay way. He makes a big thing of like, I break the banana bits up and put them in my mouth bit by bit because apparently it's gay to put a full banana in your mouth. And so I demonstrated that there's nothing gay about eating a banana.
Jacob's reclaiming banana eating.
Yeah.
You went, but what? You peeled it and then put the whole thing in your mouth?
Yeah, I sort of played with it a bit. I wound him up a bit.
It was highly unpleasant.
I think the disclaimer that you did at the beginning, which was, I've never actually deep-throated anything, that leads me to think that you have.
I would agree with that. I wasn't going to raise that, but from the way that he did it, he was either practicing a lot at home this week, which is arguably more disturbing, or he does have some experience. And well, if we're going to go there, you've asked Ava about what time length of birth control she's using. How do you know how to deep throat stuff so well?
You're asking me if I've ever been down on a man?
No.
Okay. Well, then we don't have to answer that question.
Should we watch some more Tim Coles?
Let's watch some more Tim.
I can't remember what the next one is. This is a classic. This is him in the car. Right, here's Tim in the car.
He fucking misses you! He misses everything about you. He misses your voice. He misses your fucking smile. He misses your smell. He misses your hug. He misses your jokes. He misses how you made him fucking feel. He misses your fucking everything. Your everything.
Jesus
and it's
Christ.
funny
He's really
because you don't even fucking know how much you mean to that man. Do you know that you're the only fucking thing that kept him alive? Do you know how happy he got when you text him? Do you know how much he fucking loves you and that he would do fucking anything for you because you were always there for him when he needed you the most?
Is that Bon Iver in the background?
He will never fucking forget because you saved his fucking life.
So was that a custom video that your boyfriend had made? Or was that?
Well, this is the thing. I don't know where he gets his information from, but it feels like he's sort of speaking to someone specific. Do you know what I mean?
It's always speaking to women. It's nearly always speaking to women. He's got like a fancy woman in his mind who he's trying to appeal to, and it's my theory that he's kind of aiming for women with mental health problems. like women. I don't mean that in like a nasty way.
No.
I think women who are feeling a bit vulnerable.
I did when I first brought it up, obviously. Like.
I didn't want to accuse me. Were you all right when you first found him?
Assume the best of intentions for Jacob and I. Assume the worst of intentions for Ava. Yeah.
But he does have that. I've never been more certain that he is someone who has threatened to kill themselves if someone dumps him. Someone's tried to dump him in the past, and he's gone, "I'll fucking kill myself if you break up with me."
Yeah, he does have that energy about him. I think, like you say, all good
I
writing.
think, but do you have that energy about you? Because I feel like that's like the 4th or 5th time I've heard you say something like that. How are you so familiar with that?
Yeah.
I've never told someone that I'll do that.
You've what?
I've never told someone I'll do that.
What? Break?
That I'll kill myself if they. Yeah.
I think I might have said it once when I was a teenager, and then someone was like, "That's the most insane thing you could say," and I think I immediately was like, "Oh God, yeah, that is crazy."
Yeah, it's a lot, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean?
Did it go around the school that you said that? 'Cause that's so embarrassing.
Oh God, I haven't thought about that, and that's something I'm going to think about when I'm trying to get to sleep.
I have like such great relief that like I didn't date anyone until I was 18. I was at a mixed school. I just wasn't interested in at all in dating people. And it's like I'm so lucky that I was like that. I think about people like and the sort of stories that used to go around school. When we were 12, there were these two. Oh God, I can remember their names. I remember it so viscerally. There was a girl and a guy who had sex, but they were doing it in each other's belly buttons. Like imagine that. I know that about this person.
Now.
The girl's an accountant now.
That happened.
Were you going to say that happened at your school?
Well, that happened in Stevenage, yeah. So is that like an apocryphal urban myth? Do you reckon, or do you reckon that did you witness it?
Well,
yeah. No, I was there. Yeah, I was there.
Say it happened at my school as well. Genuinely happened at my school as well. I can remember the names of the people who did it. They did it in the school swimming pool.
Did they?
The school swimming pool.
You had a swimming pool.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello there.
Yeah, actually, is that right? That feels mad. I don't.
Oh no, you're thinking of an episode of 90210.
No. Yeah. Anyway.
Where did you go to school?
Well, when I say the school swimming pool, it's a long story. It's not worth getting into. But there wasn't actually a swimming pool in the school necessarily, but there was like a swimming pool that was like linked to the school. And
look how he's trying to downgrade it. I'm not that.
I know. This is amazing. Hello, here, Jacob Borley, working class comedian. I saw a couple of kids at school shagging the swimming pool. Bash. He put his penis in someone's belly button. Yeah.
That happened at my school as well.
Yeah.
I think that's a common thing. That is like, it says a lot about sex education in this country that all three of us know someone that tried to penetrate someone's belly button.
And in Stevenage, and here's I could use some of the journalistic rules. Can you stand up and do the light again? Yeah, I can use some of the journalistic rules.
While you do that, can I open this Diet Coke?
Yeah, go for it. The person who that was claimed about, according to the sources of my youth, was the Gossip Girl actor Ed Westwick.
Oh, because he went to school in Stevenage, didn't he? Yeah.
And the sources said, I didn't. I've never said it. Obviously, I never would. That he had aged 14, had sex with someone in their belly button.
Really?
Yeah.
14.
We used to be like Mayfair girls when we were 16. We used to go up to...
That's class by you.
Yeah, well done.
So what
does that mean?
Like we used to just go up to, because it was free to get in and you didn't need ID.
What, Mayfair? Mm-hmm. Oh, what, like clubs?
Yeah.
And
do you not know what I'm talking about? Like, like we used to go to like China White or like...
They did not let people like us in.
Oh, yeah, of course not. Yeah, no, but you must have known girls at school, no?
Yeah, but we were outside London, so we didn't know anyone who was going.
Why did I think that you were from Enfield?
Oh.
He does have that vibe.
That's what I thought, yeah.
He has the vibe of someone who said, I'm going to kill myself if you dump me.
Yeah.
The vibe of someone who lived in Enfield.
Oh, I don't mind that.
Why was I telling that story that we used to go up there all the time?
Ed Westwick.
Ed Westwick, yes. So one of the girls one night, he was in the club and he like kind of called her over, summoned her over to sort of be like...
Did that happen a lot in the Mayfair clubs?
What, like the...
Being summoned?
Yeah, do you know who it did happen? I actually don't know if I can say this one, but shall I just like sort of, you can bleep it?
Yeah, I can bleep it. Wow.
We can fucking slag off.
No, but
it's a lot of
I'm
bleeping
going to
now.
say next though that you think, because bleep can keep this in.
Okay.
She was 17 when she had sex with him.
Wow.
We're keeping that in.
No, we're not keeping that.
We fucking... What? I've said in the past that...
No, you didn't.
I have.
You said that to me off mic. I'm going to have to bleep that.
Oh, shit.
Fucking hell, you fucking idiot.
You're not recorded all the time. Do you think that like every time you're out and about talking?
We speak so often. Honestly, it's so hard. Have I never said that on?
No!
I'm sure I have, mate.
No, you
I'm
haven't.
sure I have. I remember a Patreon being like, I've heard that too.
So these Mayfair clubs, they had a lax door policy.
Yeah.
And he was 40s?
I don't know. I have no idea. No, he's not that old, is he?
He's 50s now.
Okay, so he would have been... No, in his 30s then.
Still not great.
Yeah.
Not ideal.
Good looking, though.
Yeah, I bet. So, and in the clubs, why could they just not get women that were over the age of 18, or was that the point?
Because they were populated by nonces. You wanted 17-year-olds.
Yeah. We had... there was like one story. We went up with this guy. I can't remember who he worked for, but anyway, we ended up going to his flat before because he was like, "Oh, I've got a present for you." Like my friend who was turning.
He said it in the child catcher's voice as well.
Yeah, it was her 17th birthday, and we were just like, we were lying about our age as well. So like, it's not really their fault.
They had plausible deniability.
Yeah, but like when you look at pictures of us, you'd have been like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, you are.
I always do that. We always had fake IDs, and we went to buy like alcohol from shops or whatever that were like amenable to that kind of thing, and it's like, oh yeah, you got the plausibility or deniability of me having this piece of card, but I look like I'm fucking 12. So it's like if anyone
the clothes don't fit,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
and with girls it's like insane makeup.
Can I have these Stellas, please?
Like you look like a geisha, like
Wearing
it's
a blazer.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, they've got the ID. They're wearing school uniform.
Yeah, it's got a button-up shirt.
Yeah, we okay. We were at this flat. It was on Bond Street, and I remember there was security in the building because there was like this few £1 million painting or something like that was in the building before you got to the flat. And then we got there and there was like a room like kind of the one we're in now, which was like drenched in red lighting, which was basically like a sex dungeon or whatever.
Okay.
And then he like brought out this like present for my 17-year-old friend. And bearing in mind what I've just told you about us not dating, like we really were not interested in men at all. So like this whole like the idea of there being like a red room that was like a sex dungeon, we just did not compute that.
Yeah.
No, we just didn't. Like, oh, isn't the lighting so nice?
It's like a computer game in here. It's
yeah. And then he gave her these pair of Kurt Geiger shoes, which were like probably like a £200 pair of shoes. But we were like, oh my fucking god, that's amazing,
That's an
or
amazing
whatever.
present.
Best day of your life.
Yeah,
Nice
and
guy.
Yeah, and then just tried to have sex with us, and we were very confused by all of it. We were like,
Thanks for the shoes.
we're gonna go.
Yeah, I think that is the nonce's problem, isn't it? That you need someone who's been worldly enough to understand that they're being nonced as well on some level. Like there's like, but you're just, oh, thanks for the shoes. The lighting in here is lovely. We're off. We'll see you later. We're going to the clubs.
I'd say it's one of the fundamental issues with trying to shag kids is that they're not minded to be in the mood.
Yeah,
for
I guess
that.
there's
It's the fundamental problem I think with paedophiles.
But he wasn't.
You're asking a child to have an adult's brain.
He wasn't then like, oh come on.
He wasn't aggressive at all. He was like, no worries, that's absolutely fine.
Polite.
Yeah, he was lovely.
Can't knock him.
We were out with him the week after.
So
it was no problem.
So he wasn't an aggressive nonce then. He was a
No, not at
suggestive nonce.
Yeah, no. Yeah, he would have just, if it was on offer, he would have taken it.
Sure.
Well, yeah.
Sorry, we've really gone on a tangent, haven't we?
That's what we do. You've got the vibe perfectly. Accuse people of stuff that we don't really have to accuse them
Yeah.
of.
The bleeping. It's going to be a lot of bleeping.
Get some stuff in about nonces. Talk about the topic for roughly 90 seconds, and then we're good. While you're here, we've done some Tim Coles. Can we talk some politics?
Yeah.
Feels amiss to have one of Britain's leading commentators in politics
Are they here?
on the show and not discuss. What do you reckon then? Next election, winner. If you had to put money on it now,
You can't put money on it now. I get a lot of criticism though for the last couple of years. I've been following Reform, and I've been doing it for like solidly for 2 years.
Yeah.
And it was only like a couple of weeks ago one of my colleagues was like, oh, I understand why you keep going to all of these meetings now. Like maybe something's going to happen with them. Like they are on a trajectory.
But do people think you're just into them? You're not doing
Yeah,
it for
yeah.
work.
People
you're
think
just...
that. Yeah, I guess I kind of do come from like a Reform adjacent family. Like you could imagine them, they're all like Italians,
Right.
like from Bermondsey. That's the sort of person who would vote Reform
You told me
traditionally.
before your dad's a cab driver.
No, not anymore. That was years ago.
All right.
Yeah. He's retired.
I really like the vibe of like the first generation immigrant family. I don't know if there's ever this on the Irish side of my family that like want to pull the ladder up after them.
Yeah.
That's like an incredible vibe.
Oh, that's
I
my
think.
nan. My Irish nan. Yeah, she's like, it's disgusting.
There's too many immigrants.
Yeah. The people coming into this country is disgusting.
I'm not saying your dad would say that. I'm just saying
We
like
open
that's
the doors
that's
to-
the
No, my dad's
Reform
English.
adjacent
It's my mum who's
okay,
Italian.
mum's Italian,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, my dad's like in the doomsday. Like I think they might be a little bit inbred because they were around Liverpool for like too long.
We have to be careful. People think we don't like Scouse people.
Yeah.
Ava said we
can't be the
don't
allegations
think
on
Oh
Scouse
that.
no, it's fine. We're Everton fans, like season ticket holders.
Really?
So yeah.
Oh my God! What a life of pain and
It's a safe
sorrow that
space.
you've had to.
Not this second half of the season. It's been lovely. Yeah.
Thoughts on Labour using social media?
Terrible. See, this is what we were talking about. Sort of. Trying to say this in a way that doesn't sound like I'm just being like, up my own ass. This is what I was trying to talk about at the beginning of the election, just before it happened. I was like, Reform have got this.
Right.
They have harnessed how to use like TikTok and target the sort of people. Do you know on the last episode when you were talking about the kind of boys that get sucked in by like Hustlers University and that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Reform know how to go after them.
Right.
Whereas Labour just sort of have this quite like blasé, almost kind of sneering condescension towards social media, and that mostly comes from
and the conventions of it, right?
Yeah, but it mostly comes from Morgan McSweeney, who's the chief of staff for Labour.
There's a man called Morgan McSweeney.
Morgan McSweeney, yeah.
What
I think
part
he
of
might be an
Ballymore
Irish
does he
op,
live in?
actually.
He's an Irish.
I think he might be. I think he's sabotaging Keir Starmer.
It's an incredible name. And so he's in charge of the social media output, and
No, he's just sort of he's in charge of everything, and so he says yes or no to whatever goes out.
Right.
And he's the guy who kind of brought down the Canary, if you remember what that website was.
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
They were like the super left wing, kind of left the momentum vibe, right?
Yeah, so he was sort of the architect of that.
More so than what's the Ash Sarkar one?
Navarra Media.
Are they more left than Navarra?
The Canary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was.
Oh yeah.
There was some wild shit.
What's his name? Bastani. He lives in Portsmouth.
Is that?
He's okay.
That's his name, yeah.
Yeah, so they're hard. Okay.
So they just don't get it because, like, I think that Reform understand like the desires of people as well, right? Like a lot of the social media content is like around, particularly for young men, is around like agency and control, and like you get this like psychological appeal to a political project, whereas like you say, the Labour stuff is just it's just like lame recapitulations of very boring social media tropes, right?
Should we have a look at them? Have you got any of the
some.
stills, or have you got the videos?
I've got the stills here, so
Jake will stick these on the screen.
This is one of my favourite ones, actually,
Right.
because to me, I can't explain why, but it feels racist.
it does, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
if you're listening, if you're listening rather than watching on Spotify, it is a half and half bad Photoshop of Nigel Farage and Kemi Badenoch, so the leader of Reform and the leader of Conservative. And the message that went along with this is basically like these people are one and the same, right?
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't know much about politics. They're not, and that's the point. Like the whole reason that Reform are doing so well is because Conservatives aren't reaching right wing people in the way they used to, and so like people who were formerly Tory are now moving to Reform.
And part of that reason is that Kemi Badenoch is a kind of absolute charisma vacuum. Right?
Yeah. Well, she's also got no individual thought. Sort of like she can't have original thought. That's what she cannot conceive of an idea or policy by herself. She has to wait till like either Labour do something and then she has to be angry about it, or Reform do something and then she thinks, oh yeah, cool, I'm going to adopt that one. But this is very bizarre to me. I like imagine the guy who was like sitting in Whitehall, like on Canva, putting this together. Like, how long do you think that was on the desk and he was sewing it together?
Surely you ask AI to do that for you. Surely, if someone's done that, like.
Do you think AI might have turned around and gone like, "Are you all right?"
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. At some point, ChatGPT, rather than just do it, goes, "Why? Why do you want to do that?"
If the social media intern is like making this off their own back, the line manager's dragging them in, going, Kevin, are you okay? We just seen that you've been making a half and half face of Nigel and Kemi. Like, is everything all right at home? Like,
it's the sort of thing that, like, do you know someone who maybe lives in like the home counties and has a Ukraine pin badge on them and like votes Liberal Democrat?
Slavo Ukraine.
Yeah, they would enjoy this content.
Yeah,
Romaniac.
Right? Yeah.
A proper Romaniac.
FBPE in bio.
A proper old school Six Music listening Romaniac.
Have you got this one where this is it?
Right.
This is the vibe I bring to the function. That's the meme format. This is Keir Starmer, and he's got several clouds of information around him.
Yeah, of
the
little
vibe
speech
that he
bubbles,
vibe
brings.
that he brings to the function. I'd forgotten about the meme of the vibe that I bring to the function until this is. So it says the vibe I bring to the function, and the vibes that he's got are very technocratic policies that are like bringing down NH waiting lists for 5 months in a row. Ending 18 months of junior doctors' strikes, delivering over 2 million extra appointments 7 months earlier than... Like, what is this? Believing the NHS should be free at the point of use. So these are like big things and small things at the same time. Cutting bureaucracy so more money goes directly to the front line.
Doesn't mean
fixing
anything.
the front door to the NHS and working to end the 8 a.m. scramble. Oh, like when you ring up the GP. Yeah, this is fucking mental.
But what does that mean? Like I guess like being in news, I know what he means by fixing the front door to the NHS.
Right.
He's talking about community healthcare, which is what they're pushing for.
Yes.
For the people up and down the country who aren't like, on Twitter 24/7, do they know what that means?
I didn't
don't
know
know
what
what
that
this
means.
No.
I don't know
Okay.
what that means.
There you go.
Is that a commonly used phrase in politics, the front door of the NHS?
Yeah, they coined it maybe like last October, I'd say. Is when it kind of came into the vernacular.
Then it's 8 months later.
Yeah. Well, also, like, I don't think there's anyone up and down the country right now who would say that the 8 a.m. scramble to get a doctor's appointment is over. Would you?
No, I don't. Yeah, I mean, some of these seem to be lies. Yeah. But like the paucity of ambition is something that I'm struck by when it's like we had 15 years of Tory and Lib Dem or whatever, and then to be like, I'm going to bring down the NHS waiting list for 5 months. Like that's it. Like that's all we get. Like give us the 4-day week or something. Let's fucking go for it. Do you know what I mean?
The 4-day week.
The 4-day week would be fantastic.
I've been like that with loads of his stuff. I remember like a few months ago when there was, everything was fucked and the wars going on here, World War III, God, people in Palestine really struggling, all this going on, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, and his thing was like, oh yeah, we've got to stop smoking areas in pubs.
I know.
It's like, who wants that?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't want this to become like, God, Keir's rubbish, but like, it's been a lot worse than I expected.
But what you've got to remember as well, it's not Keir, it's the machine behind the Labour right. He's just sort of the figurehead at the front of it. Because if he were to go tomorrow and Wes Streeting were to replace him, you'd have exactly the same politics. This is like a movement behind him, right? And the problem with Keir, why he was possibly the wrong choice for Labour, is that he's not very believable. Like every time they announce or they tell us that they've done something, you don't believe him. No. Like even when he tells us he's a football fan, I'm like, are you?
We've got a video of him on it.
Did you know what?
Fan TV.
I'll just say that is one of the most startling things about him. He genuinely plays five-a-side regularly. He goes to Arsenal all the fucking time, and
has done for years.
For years, like that is all legit, and you're 100% right. It is so unconvincing. I've never felt more like someone has never seen a football match in their life and doesn't understand the offside rule, and yet he watches football more than me. Like it's unbelievable.
Should we watch that video of him on AFTV? Is that a good one to end on?
Don Robbie.
Because I think this is the first time I'd seen.
Did you think that goal was onside at the time?
When I saw it live,
yeah,
I instinctively thought it was onside. I was really, and I could see from the time of it, that had that been allowed, that have made or could have made a very different ending. Because you thought it was offside.
I thought it was offside. I thought it was offside. I saw it, and where we sit in the West Stand. Yeah. And me and my friend, we were just immediately.
That was massive to do it in extra time. Declan Rice's goal. Not easy, that.
Do you think they had to cut there, didn't they, to tell him, prompt him on Declan Rice?
Yeah. Declan, the big Irish guy.
Oh, it was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
It's such a shame because, like you say, for him not to be believable on something that he should be believed about, that is not great. Like.
He should be my dream Prime Minister. He's like, oh my God, North London gooner, unconvincing working class past. It's me. It's me. Like I should be in love with this guy.
And once I saw these two people fucking in our school swimming pool.
Well, no, the school didn't
you
necessarily.
You really outed yourself with that. It's really funny.
I
present very posh, right? Like a lot of people ask me like where I ski and things like that, and I'm actually not from that kind of background. Yeah. But. Maybe we're just sort of presenting
you're the opposite way round
to each other. Yeah.
Maybe you need to do a kind of My Fair Lady thing on each other, where he teaches you how to like wear Stone Island and you.
No, but I just believe in social mobility. Like the voice that I have means that I get to go on Politics Live.
Right.
You know. So.
Yeah, you've smuggled yourself in. They shouldn't be letting people with your views in.
But you don't have to talk like that. Though. You could like even if you're from somewhere like Ilford, and if you've got like drastic opinions on health issues.
Are you from Ilford?
We can no.
He's saying Gary's economics.
I don't know when anyone to know where I'm from. There. I'm doing Gary's economics.
Sorry, it was so good.
You've met Gary.
No, that's not bad. Like Gary's economics. Obviously, we talk about houses. We've got to build more houses. Like, you know what I mean? Dubstep's kind of cool. But,
have you met Gary?
Are you going to ask me? Because everyone is asking me at the moment.
He's the man at the moment. He's the hero that Gotham wants, even if he's not the one it needs.
I don't get it. I don't.
You don't get him.
I can't put my finger on it. I love everything that he says.
Yes.
Everything he says.
Yes.
There's something not right,
now,
and I can't figure out why.
Let me just tell you something about social media. It does not matter how many times you say that you agree with everything he says and think he's legit. As soon as you say there's something not right, you're going to have loads of people commenting, be like, "Oh, you push."
We've got a lot of stick for a video.
Oh, can I just say, I don't give a I don't give a fuck. Can I swear? Sorry.
You can swear.
You talk about Bonnie Blue, not that. I don't care. I honestly.
Someone tried to molest me and my friends. Can I say fuck?
I'm not joking. Like there's so little that can hurt my feelings now. Like after if you have been headline news for 5 days, like rolling coverage news, and have people stand outside your house and just basically tell you how much they hate you, after that...
Jacob's really sorry about that, by the way.
I just don't. I honestly.
Do you think
care.
that's? I mean, obviously that's a horrendous experience to go through. Do you view that part of it as almost like a superpower now? Of like, what more can they do?
Well, I've become quite sociopathic.
Okay, great. Thanks.
No. I just don't read any. I really don't read any comments. Like the only ones I see are like my sister screenshots them and like will send them to me, being like, "Oh my god, look, they think."
I know you're trying to preserve your mental health, but someone's called.
Oh, that's my mates. My mates from home. I constantly say on my group chat, I'm like, I don't read the comments. No. And then there'll be like something on YouTube being like, look at that fucking twat. He does need to go to Turkey.
Yeah.
Sure enough, I book a trip.
Shall I tell you what? My sister sent this to me. Hi Ava, very much enjoying the pod. Have you ever considered you might have ADHD? Just a thought. I'm a doctor, and listening to your episode, it's like going down a tick list of symptoms. It's just like so parasocial.
Can we get that guy's contact details for Jacob? Or
It's like I wouldn't go up to someone and be like, I've just smelt your breath. Do you have cancer? Like it's just such an insane thing to send someone. Like.
Yeah, and the fact that you do a podcast means you're like fair game for someone to be like, I'm about to diagnose you with a neurodivergent condition. Yeah, amazing. Yeah. They've been trying to do it for us. We just don't listen. We just carry on. Is there anything else you want to cover on Labour? I feel like, I mean, it's not a great picture. Reform are going to win. Ava says put all your money on that. You can take that prediction to the bank. No,
I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to win.
No.
I do think they're going to be in opposition though. I think they're going to be. Yeah, they've made some pretty poor choices with some candidates that are going out to the locals. So I think they're going to have a bit of a dip. But by the time they get to the next election,
Tom Skinner is leader.
Look, Labour have got to get better. Like they have just got to get better at talking to people under 40.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm not even sort of sniping at the sidelines. I mean it earnestly.
Right.
Like you cannot have these millions and millions of people under 40 who cannot buy a house, who are suffering from stagnating wages, and are being spoken to by the manosphere online constantly, being told like, put all your money in crypto. That's the only way you're going to make a good life for yourself.
Yeah, and then I did that, and then fucking honestly, Trump has fucked it. You know that?
Yeah.
I thought he was part of our.
Jacob's Ripple was going through the roof
This
before
is
that.
Genuinely true. I did all of those things you've just described, and now Trump has fucked it. And it's like, of all the people I thought would destroy my crypto, I didn't think it'd be him.
Did you buy the Melania coin?
I don't want to tell you what coins I've got because the names are so silly. It's
tell.
no, because it's my children's inheritance.
We're in deep on Hawk Tuah coin. We're really struggling. All of the business account money's gone on Hawk Tuah coin. All right, it needs to go back up soon. Otherwise,
Yeah.
Does that exist? I thought she got rid of it. Like the second she launched it.
Fuck's sake!
And we need to go.
We need to go.
Ava, thanks so much for coming on the podcast. Only the second guest we've ever had. Would you come back?
I don't think you'll have me back after that.
Oh no!
Like,
Come on.
No, listen. There's more to do. There's more to discuss.
There's more. The Tim Cole's insight's fantastic. Do keep your money that you're spending on him down to manageable amounts. Don't overextend yourself. Obviously, hope your boyfriend gets to see the idea of you sending him screen records while he's away on business.
They've got a coffee machine that dehumidifies the beans.
Don't
buying fucking.
Jacob's watched people fucking in the swimming pool at his school like he was on the set of Showgirls or something. Thank you so much for coming on, Ava. Really fun.
Thank you.
Up the Rotters.